The one of the biggest things facing the Cardinals this season, and I want to get your thoughts on this just in general, but also because you're an expert in the area, is Paris Johnson Jr. moving to the left side. Because my initial thought, having never played offensive line at any level, was, he can do it. Like, I know it's not like the simplest thing in the world, but he's a pretty good offensive lineman. But as we were kind of talking about this earlier in the week, it was like, and if he can't, they might be screwed. Everything kind of falls apart. So hopefully he can. So enlighten us, Max. How difficult is this move?
So when you're looking at offensive line play, right? I mean, left side, right side. The biggest thing is going to be biomechanically. I always say this because how your hips shift, because you're playing on an angle. You're already playing an unnatural body movement. Your body's not built to naturally go on an angle. Like, everything's built anatomically correct to be stable and be consistent, right?
Yeah. How do you guys not all have back problems from doing this?
I just went and got a hip MRI yesterday, so I can no longer say that it's just, genetics. No. All of us will have hip MRIs at some point.
Don't tell that to Paris, because we need him to play.
Well, no. Later. I mean, I'm talking at 42 now. Okay. I mean, now if he plays 20 years, then, hey, you've won, right? You've won the lottery on getting a 20-year offensive lineman. But biomechanically, you have to shift, and so all those muscles have to change to be comfortable in that position. So you have to take thousands of reps to get comfortable. But the problem with that is, right, just like when you walk a path over and over again, right, the grass starts to wear away and it becomes dirt, and now, hey, I know what this path is.
Yeah.
Same thing happens inside the body. So now you're saying, nope, we're going to switch to the other way. So now all those loose muscles that were like this now have to go back to this. And so early on, you're going to see, like, just musculature-wise, we're talking biomechanics, right? There's going to be a tendency for that high leg that's technically part of the wall, right? You're blocking the inside move that has a direct path to the quarterback. That might shift to parallel for a while.
Okay.
And then you're getting back to where now that left hip has to be a lot looser, and you can create that stable balance so that you can high leg up and in. So it's going to be a little bit of a transition biomechanically. But once again, thousands of reps, right? When you're trying to master something.
Even the reps and OTAs help, I would assume?
Even the reps and OTAs, because you're still mimicking the movement, and the musculature is still, and your tendons are still moving in that direction. So when they're doing all those bag drills, those are all requisite reps. A part of those thousands of reps you have to get to where your body is starting to get used to, okay, this is our new normal. And so that's what it's going to take. And now, granted, he only played 1 year of right, but still, it was a very forceful, and it was a lot of games at right tackle.
Every snap, too.
Right? I mean, he was in for every snap. So it's going to be a little bit of a change. But I think because he's naturally a left tackle, it's going to fall back in. It's just like riding a bike, right? You're going to get back into the groove. The biggest thing that's going to help him is terminology. And the fact that he's year 2 in this position, and that he's under the same playbook. So plays are the same, terminology is the same. He just has to switch which one is his strength and which one is his weakness. So whether it's odds or evens, right? Usually evens go to the right, odds go to the left. And there's other words that have those R's and L's in them that give you the key, but he just now has to remember in his head, hey, I'm left now. I'm left.
So he has to remember it and then flip it, basically.
Correct.
We had Paris on earlier this week when we were out there at OTAs, and you bring up the year 2 thing, which is a really good logical point that I hadn't really heard brought up much. But this is what Paris said, just in general, just his confidence level going into year 2.
It is, and honestly, that's just because of the reps. Even to the point today where I was thinking about where I was when I first got drafted, and we're finally going to defense and practice, just in my mind, like, okay, man, I'm out here with the ones, going against the defense. Now it's like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know my technique. Now I'm just thinking about stance, feet, eyes, hands. I'm just getting back into my routine. I'm not having to think about all the extra stuff at this point during the off season. So I'm excited.
I mean, that's what you just said, right?
You said, yeah.
Because if you don't have to think about Red Raider 462 / right? You don't have to think about that stuff. You know what it is. It's just, stance. I'm on the backside now. So now, I'm taking the backside cut on this. I'm watching middle backer to weak side back. Like, you start thinking of those things. And then, like you said, thinking about my stance and my feet. That's all trying to reprogram everything biomechanically and also mentally to make that flip. Now he just has to think about that. I don't have to think about, okay, well, what type of play is this? Is this a pass? Is this a run? Okay, what type of run is this? Is this play action?
You eliminate some steps.
You eliminate some of those steps and you get right to that because you only get, in essence, about 7 seconds to process all of that information.
Yeah.
So if I can take a couple of things out of the equation
that would help.
And get to it faster, now I'm able to react quicker.
And we'll probably get back into this later in the show. I have to think ultimately this was their plan for him anyway, just maybe not this quickly. But to your point, the fact that he only ended up playing the right side for 1 year probably makes it a little bit easier. It's not like he's in year 10 trying to make this change.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.